to your next Fairview Live. I am Erica Kelly, your co-host. We have Mitzi Dela Cruz behind the camera today, and I have the pleasure of introducing you to Staci Davis with Waves. And we are so excited, to be honest with you. I had no idea that this organization existed, but I am so excited to get to know you and what Waves does. It sounds like it's a very important role that a lot of people might not know that you play in Williamson County. But to get started, it sounds like the starting happened in Fairview, Tennessee,
Yes.
which is awesome. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we were founded in 1973. We support children and adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And in the 70s, the standard of care for an individual, like once you graduated or worked your way through high school, the standard of care was to be put into an institution. And so we had a group of families out in Fairview who thought that they could provide a better quality of life for their loved ones. So they decided to make waves in the community, and they created a nonprofit. So we started as a day program. I'm not sure which churches have basements in Tennessee,
Right.
but everything starts in a basement in a church somewhere. So in a basement in a church in Fairview, we started a day program just to provide that week respite for the caregivers, so that their loved ones had a place to go to be able to socialize, have community participation, to have outings, to volunteer, and just start to develop skills that are independent life skills. And so that's how we were founded. Fast forward 53 years later.
Gosh, that's a long time. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so we're still here. We're still providing those day program supports, but now we have 2 day programs. We've got one in Franklin, and then that same one in Fairview. But we're now at the county rec center in Fairview. That's where our day program is.
Okay.
But we also have a residential program. So we have 4 homes throughout Williamson County, 2 in Franklin and 2 in Fairview, where we provide 24/7 residential support for individuals. We also do employment support for adults, community integration, but we also have an early learning program.
Okay.
So we can support babies from the age of 0 to 5 and provide developmental therapy for them. So if a child in Williamson County, or even 6 counties, we've spread out of Williamson,
Wow.
and we're across 6 counties now. But if a child is born with a developmental delay or a disability, we're able to come into their homes or their child care facilities to provide developmental therapy for them, to help lay that solid foundation.
That is awesome. So let me ask you, just kind of going off of that, we'll stick with the child, the young child right now. Is that something that you partner with physicians or support that way, or can the parents come directly to you to reach out and have that discussion and see if Waves would be a good fit for them?
We're always happy to answer questions for parents and caregivers, but for us to be able to provide developmental therapy, you do have to be referred into the system through the Tennessee Early Intervention Services.
Okay.
So TEIS.
TEIS, okay.
Now, anyone can give a referral. Like if you have a child, it doesn't have to be a pediatrician or a teacher or even a caregiver. If you think a child has some sort of disability or delay, you can refer through into the system, and then the state takes it from there. And so they'll do an evaluation to see what type of disability or what kind of delay that your child has, and then they'll refer to a service provider like us at Waves.
Okay, and then what is the services that you provide? Like, tell us what a day of support for a child, 0 to 5 would look like.
So we're going in and providing developmental therapy. So we work hand in hand with occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy, feeding, all these therapies that a child might need, but we're looking at the developmental side of things.
Okay.
So how can we help that child be independent and kind of level up their foundation so that when they enter the school system, maybe they don't need intervention.
Gotcha.
And so we're helping children do the small things in life that they need to be able to do. Like it might be turning their head and looking for like when a sound happens, or reaching with their left hand when they're right hand dominant, and so just switching things up and helping them be as independent as possible.
So helping them walk through the milestones that other children might do naturally, but just trying to help them along with that same process.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you said a great word. A trigger word is milestones.
Okay.
So the CDC puts out these different milestones that a child should be achieving at different life stages.
Right.
So at like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, all that kind of stuff. If you're following those milestones and you're like, I don't think my child's doing that, Or if you go to the playground and everybody's the same age and you're like, well, my child might not be doing that. If you think there's a delay, refer and see if there is one. And because if there is a delay, that early intervention is so incredibly important. A child's brain by the age of 5 is 80% developed. And so getting in on those early years is hugely crucial for the trajectory of that child's life. And so with developmental therapy, we're able to help build those building blocks so that they have a better platform to stand on once they get older.
Yeah, that's awesome. And is there, or help me remember, is there a therapy, pediatric therapy out in Fairview, like ABC therapies that does something similar like that?
Yeah, there's a lot of different types of therapies that a child can take advantage of, or a caregiver can take advantage of for their child. And we complement all of those things.
Awesome.
And here's the catch: we're free.
Oh, wow. I hope our mics are working this time, but sometimes our mics don't work. But just in case, she said these services to our Williamson County, and it sounds like surrounding counties as well, are free. And what a great burden lifter, because just hearing you speak about some of the, having kids is stressful enough. We're talking about the younger kids. I always like to say that, all of us moms got a book that said what to expect when expecting.
Yes.
But it stops at like 1 or like 18 months, like what's after that, Where's the books for what's expecting after that? And what's to be expected is that kids cost a lot of money. And especially when you're talking about needing supplemental help, just to keep them on track with the normal milestones, what a blessing that is. Okay. So how are you guys funded? We'll switch to that just because that's
a great question.
Yeah.
We are primarily state funded.
Okay.
So we work hand in hand with the Department of Disability and Aging.
Okay.
So which goes through, TEIS has its own contracts for the children. So 100% of the children, which 537, that's how many children we have currently enrolled in our program.
Wow.
Across 6 counties.
That's a lot.
100% of the developmental therapy that is provided for those children is free.
Okay.
Because we are reimbursed by the state. For our adults, we work with the 10 care system. So most of our adults are enrolled in Medicaid. They're on some sort of waiver system, and we're able to bill the state for the services that we provide.
Gotcha.
Now, there's a catch with that.
Always, right?
The state reimburses, and it's really wonderful to be able to work with them. But the reimbursement rates that we receive don't quite cover the full cost of programming. And so we do have needs in our community to be able to increase our programming. We have a waiting list for our adult services. We would love to be able to expand and be able to provide more services to more individuals, but there's that cap, there's that capacity. And we're almost to our full capacity to be able to support all the adults that we can. And so community help is always helpful. So we're constantly looking for corporate sponsorships or partnerships, individual donors, grants, all of those things within the community to help offset those extra costs.
Right. Does the state have to have this in the budget every single year? So do you have to go back and get almost approval for your services?
So it's a part of the state's budget, yes.
Okay.
And there's advocacy groups across the state that are constantly reminding
Yeah.
our lawmakers of how important Medicaid is. So as long as someone's enrolled in Medicaid, they're most likely going to be able to benefit and get some sort of through a service provider or a direct service from the system.
Wonderful. Now 537
Children. 50
okay,
adults.
and 50 adults. Now let's kind of segue into the adults, because you told me some amazing things, and especially you told me that you have a resident participant who's been with you for a long time.
Yeah.
Shocking. Tell us about them.
Yeah, so Jeff is one of the guys that we support out in Fairview. He lives.
Hi, Jeff.
And his brother is amazing. He's on our board. And so I think you might have met Gary at the networking event. But so Jeff grew up in Fairview, and he always wanted to be like his brother and have his own space. He wanted to have his own bachelor pad and everything like that. And so a goal of Jeff and Gary's parents was like, we need to find a place for Jeff to be as independent as possible.
Right.
But Jeff wasn't able to actually have his own apartment or his own home and survive and be as independent as he could. So when Wade started opening up houses and homes in quick story. So his brother always tells me, he's like, yeah, well, his brother lives in Fairview still, and we'll come and take him home for holidays and all that kind of stuff. And every time that he takes him home, after a few hours, Jeff's like, I'm ready to go home.
Oh,
this isn't home.
Right.
My wife's house is my home.
Oh.
And so it's always one of those. He's always ready to go home, have his own space, because he has his own bedroom and he shares a bathroom with one of his housemates. But it's his space, and that sense of ownership, I think, is something that you and I might take for granted.
Sure.
And so he absolutely loves it. During the recent ice storm, he went home because the house lost power. We were having to manage like where everybody was going to be safe and have warmth and electricity and all that.
All that good stuff.
And so Jeff went home with his brother and sister-in-law, and after a couple of hours, he was like, "I'm ready to go home." And Gary's like, "No, you can't. You got to stay here for a couple of days." So they took great care of him, and when it was finally time that he could go back to his house with us, Jeff was like, "I'm so glad. I almost died."
I mean, that says a lot about how comfortable he feels,
well,
you know. And you're saying it's a bachelor pad, but it's really not. It is a family. So
yes.
Tell us about how the setup is with the different roommates and how many people usually live in a home together.
Yeah. Each house has 3 residents.
Okay.
We've got one house in in Franklin that has 4 residents, but that's a special license that we get through the state to be able to have that. But every home has 3 residents. We treat it as every other house that you would have. We don't want to pile too many people in and have it be like a group home.
Yeah.
We're kind of moving out. We don't use that term anymore. We've moved from institution to group homes to integrated community living.
Okay.
That's what they're doing. They're living in communities just like you and me. And so each resident has their own schedule. They have their own space, and our staff is there to be able to help complement and help them in any way possible. So, do they need transportation to their activities? Do they need transportation to the store? Then we help them shop for whatever they need in their homes. And so, like they're making the decisions that we get to make on a daily basis as well. They're just getting
With some support. Yeah. And so does that mean that you don't have anyone who's actually living with them?
The staff do not live
Oh
there.
wow. Okay.
Now we have overnight shifts, but it is not the staff.
It's like coverage in
Yes.
case, coverage
Yes.
support essentially.
Our staff is there, and they're awake overnight, doing other tasks and stuff around the home, prepping the home for the next day so that everyone can have a successful day.
That's amazing. So we've got the kids taken care of. We have the facilities, if you want, the community homes that are, just supporting individuals that can thrive and live in our own communities and communities they grow up in. And I love that. So tell me a little bit about the future. What does growth look like for you guys? I know we're sitting in your brand new office that's down here in downtown Franklin, so that must mean that you are continuing to grow over these 50 plus years. So what's the future look like?
Yeah, the future is for us to be able to have higher enrollment within our adult services, which means recruiting and retaining quality staff. We want our staff is the backbone, like, of everything that we do. They are the ones that are working one-on-one with every single individual that we support. They're the ones that are helping support that independence, and they make the biggest difference in the lives of those that we support. And we can only do that if we have high-quality staff members. And so for us to be able to recruit and retain high quality is huge. And I think we're not an anomaly in the hiring sector. Hiring is hard.
Yeah.
And retaining and having staff is difficult because there's so many opportunities out there. And so our goals are to be able to grow our development side of things so that we can continue to grow the number that we support, but then also be able to pay our staff better livable wages.
That's amazing. And so it's going to be in the healthcare space, I'm assuming, to be able to support the people that are going to be in your community, right?
Now, we're not providing health care.
Right.
We're providing independent life support.
So who is your perfect support person that you are looking for to help grow?
So anyone who cares about other people and wants to help take care of someone in their lives.
Okay.
And so, because it's hard work. If you talk to one of our direct support professionals, they are doing some heavy lifting.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes like physically heavy lifting, and sometimes it's mentally. Because you're helping people overcome a lot of different hardships. You know, like the folks that we support, they experience the same exact emotions that you and I experience.
Right.
And so helping those individuals navigate through that can be hard. So we're looking for individuals who care, you know, that have that empathy to be able to want to help someone not just survive, but thrive in their daily life. And that's a very broad answer because the people who work for us, or work with us, let me say that, the folks that are working with us come from a wide variety, a big background.
So they don't have to have a medical background, because that's exactly what my mind went to. So I wonder if some of my viewers would think that too. So that's amazing.
Don't have to have a medical background. We provide 100% of the training that you need to be able to support the folks that are in our services.
That's wonderful. So I know that we're probably coming up to time, but I want to make sure that everyone knows how to get in contact with you, whether that be because they have a child they're interested in connecting, or an adult program that they're wanting to see what they have available, or they're wanting to come and be a part of your care and support team, which sounds like, you know, with your personality, I don't know why anyone wouldn't want to come and support alongside you, but how can they get in touch with you? What's the easiest way?
Yeah, so the easiest way to find us is online. So we have a website, blazing.com.
Okay.
Find us on our socials. If you're not convinced that we have fun through this video, find us on our socials, because our socials, we've got an amazing marketing team. They are doing such a great job with showing and telling the stories of the people that we support. And so you can find us on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. And so Waves Serves is our handle on Instagram, and I think TikTok as well.
Okay.
I'm still coming along to TikTok.
I know, me too. Me too. Well, I was telling you that just getting online and just scrolling a little bit on Facebook, there are so many services they provide. The people look so happy. I know that everyone that's in your care has to just be, you guys sound like that you're such a blessing to so many people. So thank you for supporting Fairview. Thank you for supporting Williamson County. I know the people who need your services need people like you. And so I hope that people that are watching this want to serve and want to utilize your services. So give them a call, find them on social. Of course, we'll have it down in the link to be able to click on. And so we hope that you guys take advantage of this. If you have any questions for Staci or anyone else, reach out to them. We're happy to get you guys connected. Thank you for letting us come out here and just tell the stories. We love telling stories. And I mean, I grew up in Kingston Springs, but I've been in Fairview since 2016, and I had no idea that Waves even existed. And so I'm really thrilled to be able to share your story and Wave's story. So anything else you want to share with anyone?
Thank you. We appreciate it, and we look forward to connecting with whoever's ready to connect with us.
Oh, wonderful. Well, as always, if you have someone else that you want to share their story, let us know. The job form to schedule a Thursday will be below, and we will see you next Thursday. Bye.